Alright guys, so today I made a Neovim Plugin Manager. Yes, that's right, I actually made a plugin manager that loads all of my plugins, my favorite ones. And no, it doesn't stack up with like Folke or something like this, but it's lightweight, it's got minimal lines of code, and it has a lot of features for the amount of code that was actually written. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys, so let's take a look at this. Maybe make this text just a little bit bigger. All right, let's go into my config folder. Then we're going to come into Neovim configs. Now let's go into Zine. All right, here we are. So let's just take a look at what we got. Let's look at Lua. I'm not going to really explain the code, but I'm just going to kind of show you what we have so far. It's basically just my plugin manager. And I got some really cool features here and really want to like show all of this to you because I really outdid myself here, I think. We basically load Lightplug, and we basically load the plugins from the plugin.json folder. Now, why would I do that? That sounds pretty crazy, right? And then not only that, all of the plugins that are loaded, I can actually put a little bit of error handling in this. This is crazy talk, right? I know a lot of people are like, what the hell is he doing? This is just so crazy cool. Like, let's go to plugins.json. Let me just go ahead and erase that, okay? So, right now, we're pruning all of those plugins. Now we have just a blank piece of paper, right? So, let's go here and do the same thing. Now, those are all of the plugins. And we installed them. I got one. What if I want to disable? Can I do that? Well, yeah, naturally you can't. I don't have like a lot of things set up yet, but I can do, yeah, comments. Think this is how it's done. And then come in here like that. Okay, so now this is commented out, right? So, if you come back here, Vim init Lua, you'll notice something kind of cool here. And I wanted to show it. Right here, you see like CMP OK, blah, blah, blah. So it's actually calling that. Because it's calling it, normally it would run an error, but I have a little bit of error handling. It says empty or missing repo at index 5 in Vim CMP not available, skipping configuration. I think this is pretty cool. I don't know if you're following me, but just in case you're not following just how cool this is, there's some other stuff, but mainly, there's one last thing I wanted to show you, and right here. So now I can say I want like a particular branch. I want to load this from a particular branch. I can tell it which branch to load from. I can tell it whether or not they should update or not. And a few other flags that I've set up. I don't even remember all the flags, to be honest. I'll be sure to put it in the documentation though. But anyway, there's a few things that I can do to completely control the plugin that I'm installing. And this is important. Yes, you can do this using Folke's, lazy.mvim. I'm not suggesting you can't. You can do it with plug. You can do it with packvim. You can do it with a lot of other plugin managers. Before I let you go, I can't leave you like this. This ain't a good configuration, is it? Does it look like it's something you could use? I mean, it looks like you know what, right? You thought I was going to say it, didn't you? Anyway, I just wanted to show you something here. So if I wanted to basically I just wanted to do something like that. So now which key is not going to work, right? If you take a look, it pruned it. So I don't have which key, right? But everything else works. So it doesn't work for everything, but it does work for enough that if you wanted to disable something in order to test it or something like that, you can certainly have a little bit of error handling as far as the plugins are concerned when they're loaded and that sort of thing. And now it's installed again. It's really quick. Okay, so I wanted to show you how this actually works. So it's actually really easy. The way you do it is you just create a couple of local variables. So this one I named OK and mini pairs, right? You could name them anything that you want, okay? But then you require mini dot pairs, which is the command for those pairs, right? And then you say if OK. So if it's OK, then mini pairs setup, right? And that is if that p call, it requires the mini pairs and that's OK, then you go back to the mini pairs setup. And then you basically put your config inside of here and you end the function. And it's really simple, just like that. Or you end the if block, sorry. It's really that simple. You can see that I've pretty much done that, the same thing over and over and over again. Follows the same thing. And basically, like, if you have anything else to add to the config, then you just add it right below this if statement right here, like I did here. It's pretty easy, actually. Like, crazy easy. If I have a dependency in my new plugin manager, as long as that dependency is installed, it should pick it up, right? That's at least my thought. So let's see if my theory holds. I'm going to be installing this, but this is a dependency. And as long as it's installed, like I said, I think it will run just fine. So let's see what we got here. All right. See which branch I want. Okay, so you have a lot of different ones. All right, I'm just going to take the master. And actually, I think if I'm just going to take the master doc, I think I can just go back here and just install it. That looks good to me. Yep, we got it. Now I just have to plug in my config, right? And now I have a pretty extensive configuration. This is actually really easy. I plan on maybe simplifying this, but right now, there we go. Trying to I think that should do it. Perfect. So let's go plugins.json for a second. Let's go over here. Let's disable this. I wanted to kind of show Okay, now I've disabled this plugin, right? Let's check this out. Now, according to me, everything should just not work, but auto pairs is working. So it means everything else is working except for that, which is really cool. And I guess my plugin manager isn't running either, because Solarized Osaka isn't working, and that is a dependency. But other than that, it seems like everything's working. In order to load all my favorite plugins, language servers, linters, and everything else, this I think is going to take a few days. Loading the plugins is easy enough. The thing that's throwing me off a little bit is the error handling, but it's actually pretty cool because now I'm really going to have like kind of a robust setup that I can use day in and day out, and I think this is very useful. The other thing that I would say is something like here I have a floating terminal. If I hit escape twice and leader TT, I get rid of it, but if I call it back up again, I have it again. And it's the same terminal. So like if I'm working on a web server or something, this is really useful. And this is thanks to TJ Devries, but I have, like a progress bar or whatever at the bottom, the status bar, I guess is what you call it. It's pretty straightforward. I really, really like it. I think there's also a way that I could actually, load the plugins individually, but I'm really not worried about that. I actually really like this setup the way it is. And again, it's a lot easier because I can add packages, I can purge them, I can bypass certain configurations in this configuration. I mean, it all just makes a lot of sense. And so anyway, this is my plugin manager that I made myself. It's a little less bloated than the one I had with Folke. So I think that Folke is a great guy. I think he's a great developer. I'm not trying to take anything away from the guy, but you know, in my world, less is more, and I just want like a less bloated setup. And I was thinking about it, you know, for a while now, that it was just a little too much. This seems to be just about right. Exactly what I want. The ability to add and remove plugins, the ability to have error handling, the ability to indicate which version or which branch I wanted to load from, or whether or not I wanted automatic updates or to freeze the updates on each individual plugin. I don't care that it loads all the plugins all at once. I could care less because I don't have enough plugins for that to matter. And so I think having just a minimal setup where my linters and, you know, my language servers and all of those things are installed and loaded, all of my favorite writing tools, so on and so forth, I think this is going to be a pretty badass system. I'm looking forward to showing the final version off within probably the next week or two. Anyway, I hope this inspires you to do something different, or you know what, I'll even do one better. I'm going to leave the source code in the comments section, and you can check it out. It's so in my nvim.configs, I'm using basically, I'm testing it out, so it's going to be under Xeno, and just take a look at it. It's called Lightplug. And that's pretty much it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. Later. I just have to give a special shout out to all my donors. Thank you so much. You are my producers here. Russell just upped the ante and bought me another 20 cups of coffee. He became a tier 3 subscriber, and he also has given me 2 super chats. Like, that's a lot for in the last couple of months. He's my highest tier donor, and pretty much whatever he says goes. And I just want to thank Scrub Ghost for his cup of coffee as well. That helps out a lot. And if you'd like to give, please consider subscribing. And if you become a subscriber, there's one perk. You get to see all my videos first. So Russell's going to get to see this video first. And not only that, I pray a special blessing over the lives of Russell and Scrub Ghost for their generosity. And anyway, thank you so very much. I'm really humbled by this. Thank you.